Zaptics. Christian, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. We're at the Silicon Valley Newtech Meetup. So tell me a little bit about what you told everybody tonight about Zaptics.
Okay, well, Zaptics is a new service that helps venues and event organizers sell tickets online for free.
So how do you make money?
We make money by charging customers a small fee when they purchase tickets. It's the same business model that Ticketmaster and most other sites use. We just make the fees smaller so that it's not as much of a burden on the customer.
So this question came up in the meetup, and I thought it was a pretty common question for you guys. Obviously, TicketWeb, Ticketmaster are your biggest competitions, and
right.
You charge less. But how else are you better than them? Or
well, sure. One of the ways we differentiate ourselves is by focusing on events with between 100 and 1,000 people. If you go to Ticketmaster or even to TicketWeb, a lot of the times their events have 2,000, 3,000 people. They're geared towards larger mainstream acts. If you look at the college market, if you look at local markets, most of these events don't have online ticketing, or at most will have a PayPal button. So there's a large opportunity still to represent huge portions of events that don't have online ticketing right now. And I think we can be that company.
Yeah. So you're also involved in an event that we went to recently, SF Beta. So tell us a little bit about that, how you got involved in that.
Okay, well, SF Beta was something that I started when I moved back, or when I moved here to San Francisco for the first time. I wasn't that well connected to the community at that point, and I wanted to start an event to give everybody in technology a fun place to get together, meet each other, chat, have fun, and also learn a little bit about a few companies. So that was my inspiration. I didn't know that there were, 3 events going on every day at the time.
Right.
So now we've added a 4th, I guess, and it's fun. Our last event had 130 people. This one's probably going to be around 150.
Okay. So
SFBeta.com.
I was going to say, you want to give a little shout out for it, and it's November 16th.
November 16th, 7 p.m. Go to sfbeta.com and you can RSVP.
Well, we'll be there, I'm sure. So thank you for talking with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye. So I'm here with Brian McConnell at the Silicon Valley Newtech Meetup. So tell us a little bit about what you told the audience tonight.
Yeah, well, I was here to demo Radio Handy. Radio Handy is a group communication service. It allows people to create groups about any topic or peer group and then communicate with each other using any combination of a telephone, text messaging, or email. So for example, you could create a group for your club or organization and then use our conferencing service to host a virtual meeting once a week. And then you could use email and text messaging to notify people about meeting agendas, schedule changes, location changes, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So how did you come up with this idea?
Well, I've been working in telecom pretty much for my whole career. And one of the things I noticed, there's lots of companies that offer teleconferencing services, but they're usually very difficult to use. And they usually have very bad websites. They kind of treat the website as a sales brochure, and then they don't even think about other modes of communication. And so what I wanted to do with Radio Handy was really give people sort of a set of tools that they could use. And so you could use whatever combination of the services you need for your group. So you could do a conference call in one session, you could blast the text message out to everybody in another session. You could use the web message board, to just kind of keep track of, ongoing discussions. And so really it allows each group to decide which tools or technologies they want to use and switch back and forth as needed.
So can you have like an unlimited number of members in your group?
Yeah, the conferencing service can only accommodate so many callers at a time before it becomes total chaos. But yeah, there's no limit on the number of people that you can have on your email list or SMS distribution list.
So how long have you guys been up and running, so to speak?
Well, we first demonstrated the phone service at the O'Reilly Media Emerging Telephony Conference in, I guess it was early February. And we started our public beta. I mean, really, for real, launched the service in beta back in August. We'd redesigned the website and pretty much have everything where we want it. And that's been running for about 2 months now. We have about 3,500 groups on the system last time I checked.
And do events like Silicon Valley Newtech Meetup help your company? I mean, presenting here, is that going to get you more?
Yeah, I mean, everything helps, from a networking standpoint, and you never know who you're going to run into at events like this. And it's certainly, at the big conferences, first of all, you've got to pay a lot to get into them. And second, there's just so much noise. It's, you don't really have that much, attention. Here, you have 5 minutes and you've got everybody's attention, so it works pretty well.
I think so. You have a great service, I think. So
Yeah.
Good luck.
All right, thank
Thank you. So I'm here with Dave from FanPop. We're here at the Silicon Valley Newtech Meetup. Dave, tell me a little bit about what you told the audience tonight.
Oh, there's a lot I told the audience tonight. So I introduced the audience to a site called FanPop. We recently launched in August. It's a site that's basically a network of portals that we call social portals around topics of interest. So, whether you're interested in certain TV shows like Lost or Heroes, or sports teams like the Knicks or the Lakers, or anything from knitting to sewing to surfing, we've basically created these little portals around topics that people can find content and discover content and create a community around these topics of interest and find other passionate, like-minded people.
So now, in the meeting, you said that you started this because you were having trouble finding things of your interest on the internet. Now, what were those things? I mean, what were you how did this snowball into what you're looking at now?
It was actually more along the camera site that I showed. I started a camera site because a lot of friends were asking me about all these tips and resources, and I was like, geez, if I had to send another email with all these links that I keep looking for that I found before, and having to write these little things over and over again, I think I'm gonna kill myself. So I basically thought, if I can get a way for people to, as a community, organize the best content, whether it be blogs or articles about what cameras to buy, or picture samples and everything. All I did was collect the links. But if I can get everyone to come together as a community who are knowledgeable about it and find that content for me, then they can create this little hub or directory of content, and then we just kind of wrapped other stuff like news feeds that I didn't want to always have to go to my RSS reader, or my mom doesn't know what an RSS feed is, and it's like if we can pull all the news content, you just want to read news headlines, just scan through for the topic you care about, and then forums. I didn't want to go log in to register for 15 different forums. It's like just register once, talk about any topic I care about, and then we decided, hey, a lot of people are actually asking about ways that they can actually write, fresh content, original content, because they don't blog, and they have an immediate audience with this spot. So it's like, this guy who was really interested in Studio 60, because it was falling apart, he wrote an article about it, and it's like, this show had potential, but it was great, but I wanted other Studio 60 fans to hear what I think. So it was just a soapbox, as we call it, for him to stand on and talk to other fans who he already knew were there. So it was, it's tough to keep up with all
do you
the
have any
stuff.
real competitors? I mean, YouTube is not similar, but
Yeah.
have some of the
So
similarities.
the problem with sites like YouTube, and I think YouTube's great, I mean, we use a lot of YouTube's videos, is that there are a lot of people who are creating new content that are putting it on different sites. They might not be putting it on YouTube, they could be putting it on Group or MetaCafe, Rever, all these different video sites, Google Video. And then the same thing happens when someone posts a blog entry. It's like it's on this one blog entry on an island by itself. No one knows about it once it's been dug. In Dig, it's hard to find anything. And with all these different sites you have to go to find, basically log into, or have to go type in a URL and check 15 different sites for one topic. It's like, geez, I just want to know what happened last night on Desperate Housewives. And it's like, do I have to really go and hunt? I could just find by rating the quality of content, and then I just wanted to find a funny article about Brie Vandekamp, and just click through and filter it. It's like bam, 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 it's there. And so we feel like Google serves its purpose for just a very targeted, specific search, but in terms of a broad community, it doesn't do as well. And the sites we've seen out there, we kept Delicious is bookmarking, but it's like there's tons of bookmarks, and they're and trying to sift through them is really difficult too. And there's no community there. There's no social aspect. With our site, it's we didn't want it to be such that you have to register to appreciate it and use it. Anyone can go on there, and you don't have to register. You have access to everything. You don't have to browse alone anymore. It's actually this socially useful social network that is finding content and discovering new content. So we've gotten a lot of users that come kind of trickle in, and others have come in clusters. People who had an existing group, but they're like, wow, you guys have so much more functionality. Let's move everyone over. One of the coolest ones was WordPress.com. A lot of the bloggers found that nobody could find their blog posts, and Dig and Reddit weren't doing enough for them to actually, what they wanted. So they're like, hey, let's create a WordPress.com spot, and then we can post our different entries here, and everyone from WordPress.com can post it. So it's like, if we can help a community do that, it's great for us.
Well, that's a good goal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for talking with us.
Thanks for having me.
Good luck.